Peace, peace, peace. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for another training session. Today we are going to talk about how to increase each transaction cost. So we're going to learn how to increase every transaction that you get, because there the profits of every transaction. So we're going to break it down in like 3 or 4 sections: the product or service, then we're going to go into the price point and what the customer benefits from doing that, and then how to pitch the service. Okay, so let's get right into it. And if you do have the copy of the call script in front of you, that would be very helpful. So if you can get a copy of the call script in front of you, It's going to be helpful on how to pitch the customer. Now, I want you guys to keep this in mind, though. The call script is just a foundational sheet for you to have. Once you understand how to use the call script, then you can get creative. Then you can, put your own swag to it and maneuver the way you feel more comfortable doing it. But it's just a way for you to lay down a good solid foundation. Okay? So just keep that in mind. So the first one is product service, right? The product that we're going to be selling is called document creation. And the company that I use for that is called eForms. Now, the reason why I do document creation is because a lot of people that are trying to get power of attorneys do not want to, they don't know how to get the good power of attorney. A lot of them are going to Staples, Office Max, they're buying power of attorneys out of that. And from my experience, banks don't accept that document. So I offered to create that service. I actually got it from a customer that said, you know what, I sure wish you guys created the power of attorney document, then I wouldn't have to pay a lawyer to get it done. So that's the benefit to the customer, right? So my price point for document creation is $47, right? I charge them $47 per document. And then the benefit to the customer is they don't have to pay for lawyer fees. I have a guaranteed success rate, or I'll give them their money back. And with eForms, they're so on point with it, I have not had to return anyone's money. I mean, they are on point, and you can draft these documents nationwide. So I want you to keep this in mind for a second, right? I want you to picture this. Say you got a client that's in a state that you do not live in. When you're paying that notary, you're typically, the profit margin you're going to see is anywhere from $50 to maybe $75, right? That's the profit after you pay the notary. Now, that's calling the notary, setting up the notary, and all this other stuff. Now, with the document creation, it'll literally take you 5 minutes to draft, and then you could just email it to the person. So imagine doing 5 of those a day, right? That's $250. That's $1,250 a week if you do it 5 days a week. It adds up. It adds up quite nicely, and you literally can draft the document on your phone. So the company that I use is eForms. Great service, real fast, real quick. What I will suggest that you do not, when you're downloading the document, do not send it directly from the eForm site, because it's going to ask you to email it. It's going to ask you to email it. So do not send the document directly from the eForm site. Download it onto your own computer or download it onto your phone, and then send it from your files. So it doesn't pop up like eForms is sending you this document. They don't need to know where you're getting your documents from. Okay? The second one is third-party witness. Now, my price point for third-party witness can be anywhere from $47 to $57. It depends on how you feel comfortable with it. You could do $47 and up, right? So a lot of times when people are doing power of attorneys, or maybe they're doing real estate documents, some of these documents require a third-party witness. Now, a lot of the clients do not want other people in their business like that. So we'll offer them a third-party witness. And basically, if you're looking at your call script, you'll see that it says, is a third-party witness needed for this document, right? So the way you throw that in is, will you be providing the third-party witness, or do you need us to provide one for you? A lot of times you're able to get that bump in your sale because, they don't want other people in their business. 2, they can't use a family member. And 3, they can't use anyone that was married into the family. So there is some restrictions to the third-party witness that they're able to provide. So by us providing the third-party witness for them, they kind of, make it a lot more easier for them. So the benefits that the customer gets is they don't have to go through the trouble of finding someone to do it, right? 2, they won't have any nosy outsiders in their business. 3, it's easier to execute in a timely fashion, so they don't have to wait for this person to get off work, or this person is only going to be available on Saturdays or Sundays after 4 o'clock. They can expedite their documents being notarized a lot quicker. So the convenience is very, very high on that. Okay. The next one is after business hours. You can select what your after business hours are going to be. It could be after 5 o'clock, after 6, after 7 o'clock, and then you charge them a premium because they're getting the documents notarized after business hours. So that you can charge anywhere from $47 and up. And the benefits to the customer on that is convenience, right? Sometimes they may need to meet a deadline, so they have to get the documents notarized at that late time when everybody is off of work. And one of the biggest things is they don't need to take off work. So they don't need to take off work. So that's, more money for them. The next one would be location. Anything over 25 miles, you got to bump the price up. So with that, you can, again, charge anywhere from $60 and up. The benefit to the customer is convenience. They may live in a rural area where there is no currency exchange, there is no bank, there is no notaries in that area. You're the only last hope, the last of the Mohican of notaries that are willing to drive to their home or business to notarize the document. So that's a great upsell as well.
Due to the massive impact social media and technology are having on the notary industry, the rise of the smart notary is in full effect. Are you prepared for the inevitable changes, or will you become obsolete? Nationwide notary agency owner Tiger Toledo shows you exactly how to leverage opportunities that currently exist. Through real-life examples, personal stories, insight, and examples, Tiger shares how he took his small one-man traveling notary service to a nationwide success using the same technology available to you. Rise of the Smart Notary will teach you how to take advantage of today's opportunities. Provide strategies and tips for using social media. Breakdown of the traditional way versus the new way of doing business. How you can exploit the opportunities that exist today. Tiger will also teach you how to work smarter, not harder. Explain top mistakes notaries make with their business. Provide immediate steps you can take towards success. Grab your copy today. It will change your life.
Number 1, e-forms, aka document creation. Charge anywhere from $47 and up. The second one is third-party witness. You can't provide a third-party witness? We can provide one for you. That's anywhere from $47 and up. After business hours. It's after business hours, 8 o'clock, you need a notary to come out to your home. That's going to be an additional, that's a premium. $47 and up right there again. 47, as you guys can see, that's a number that I've tested quite a bit, and for some reason that number works very, very well. Most of my numbers end with a 7. 7 for some reason is way better than 9. So when you used to hear 999, it's better to get 97, 97. It's, I don't know, the marketing gene. Geniuses of the world did a lot of scientific stuff, and they figured it out. But and the fourth one is location. Anything 25 miles and out, you can charge $60 and up. There's a couple of other things that you can use as well, like if somebody is downtown during rush hour, you can charge them a little bit more for that. If they're in the hospital, which requires parking for you to park on the street or park in the parking lot, you could charge a little bit more for that. So I want you guys to be creative. There's a lot of ways that you can upsell your clients, because again, what you're really selling is a necessity luxury, or luxury necessity, right? It's something that they need done, but at the same time, it's giving them the luxury of being able to stay at home or stay with the kids, stay at work, do whatever they need to do, and not have to travel outside. It's no different from Grubhub, these places that come to deliver food. They can go and get the food themselves if they wanted to, but they choose to have Grubhub deliver it to their doorstep. So they're willing to spend a little bit more money. So this is how you tie everything in from the call script. Thank you for calling U.S. Notary. My name is Mark. How can I help you today? Hi, my name is Julia. I'm looking to get a power of attorney done. Great. What is the best number to reach you at? And you write down the number. If you want to, you could go ahead and get the email. If you're doing any email marketing, that helps out. If not, don't worry about it. Then you go into, okay, so in the power of attorneys, usually you have to have a third-party witness. Are you able to provide one, or do you need us to provide one for you? Then you give them a chance to answer. Once they answer, say, hey, I can provide a third-party witness. A lot of times they don't know that it cannot be a family member or someone married into the family. That's when you can iterate, well, it cannot be a family member or someone married into the family. Then they'll think of, just don't say anything. Let them think of who they can use. If they can't think of anybody, they'll say, well, how much is it for you to provide a third-party witness? Then you go ahead and give them your price, $47. Boom. Then you keep going down that script. How many signatures are required on the document? Does all the parties have a valid photo ID? How soon do you need this done, right? So now, if it's after hours, of course, you can charge them accordingly, after hours. If not, same day, you can kind of schedule it accordingly like that. So these are the ways that you're going to do it, right? So already we've knocked out the third-party witness, and we've knocked out the after hours part. Now, how are we going to tie in the documents? I want you to think of it this way. So you're going to ask them, because you're having a casual conversation. You genuinely want to help these people out. So you're going to say, well, Julia, let me ask you this. where did you obtain your power of attorney documents from? And they might tell you something like, I just found it a random free one offline. I just downloaded it offline. Okay, Julia, from our experience, those random downloads typically get rejected when you're taking them to financial institutions. Now remember, you are the authority in here. You're the one that have done many, many power of attorneys. So they have to listen to you. You know, they have to say, all right, well, what do you suggest? What is the best way for me to do this? Because at the end of the day, you're saving them the money, right? Hey, you can make money off of them every day, 5 times a day, and say, hey, you know, get another power of attorney and then we'll come out and notarize it. But that's not what you're in business for. You're there to serve and help your client. So again, Julia, where did you obtain that document from? Well, I obtained it from a free download that I found online. Well, in our experience, Julia, those documents generally get rejected by financial institutions. I want you to pay attention to the wording on that. Generally, documents like that are either disqualified or rejected from financial institutions. The reason why those downloads online are free is to act as a template, but they're not up to date a lot of the times, right? So you're explaining it to them why the document may not be the best document that they have. If it's from Office Max or Staples, I can let you know right now, the banks are going to reject it. And then you can even go into a real life story that happened. I usually go into a story that literally happened to dissuade them from using that document, because the only thing that's going to happen is give them more frustration. Then they're going to wind up calling me back. Then I'm going to have to charge them again. And then I'm sure they don't want that, right? So once you say something like that, then you say, hey, Julia, we do offer document creation. We can offer that to you for $47. Would you be interested? We have a 100% success rate. Once you say stuff like that, and a money back guarantee if the document doesn't go through, it's like, it's a no-brainer at that point. So I want you to look at it this way. I used to charge $137 for my power of attorney. Today, I went up $10, no big deal. But I want you to calculate this, $147, right? For just me to come out and do a power of attorney. That's with you having the witness and you having the documents and everything, right? So, okay, you need me to provide a witness. I'm gonna take that $137 and add $47 to it, right? You want me to provide the document as well? That's another $47. So I just turned my $137 transaction into a $231 transaction. So I want you guys to see the math on that. And all of the accruing fees are justified. That's the biggest thing. All of the accrued fees are justified. It's not like I'm just throwing extra money on there. I'm literally telling you what we're going to do for you and how it's going to make things easier for you. Now, of course, you could throw little discounts here and there to make them feel like they got a good deal, which is cool, because then they'll send you repeat business and then they'll also do business with you again in the long run. So that's up to your discretion. But I want you to see how easy it is for you to take a client from $137 to $231 with just 2 upsells. Okay? So if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Drop a comment in the comment section, and I'd love to hear your input. The next video, we will be covering more marketing materials.
On a beautiful late spring afternoon, 10 years ago, two young men graduated from the same college. They were very much alike. These two young men both had been better than average students, both were personable, and both as young college graduates were filled with ambitious dreams for the future. Recently these men returned to their college for their 10th reunion. They were still very much alike. Both were happily married. Both had 3 children. And both, it turned out, had gone to start their own notary business in the Midwest. But there was a difference. One of the men was a solopreneur running all the notary appointments himself, and the other had a nationwide notary agency. What made the difference? Have you ever wondered, as I have, what makes this kind of difference in people's lives? It isn't a native intelligence or talent or dedication. It isn't that one person wants success and the other doesn't. The difference lies in what each person knows and how he or she makes use of that knowledge. And that is why I am writing to you about the Notary CashFlow Academy. For that is the whole purpose of the Academy, to give its members knowledge that they can use in business. Every month the Academy releases specific information of interest and significance to notary business-minded people. These videos include workshops, live.
Hi, my name is Renee Dimon, and I am the owner of California Notary Agency. I am telling you a little bit about my experience with the CashFlow Academy. Mr. Toledo and his agency, the U.S. Notary Agency, has been tremendous to my growth and my ability to scale my loan signing service. With that being said, if it wasn't for him, I would not know all of the things that I have, from just his personal coaching, his personal mentoring, and just in general, telling me how to market my business, how to excel, how to leverage, phone scripts, you name it, everything. He had, if it wasn't for himself, his due diligence with me, I would never be where I am now. Let me just give you a sneak peek. $23K a month from just escrow companies from our agency was able to do in the first 6 months of our business. That is just tremendous, and a salute to Mr. Toledo. If it wasn't for him, from just Google My Business, from marketing ourselves to just doing mock calls with escrow companies, how to find notaries, he will tell you everything how to scale your business. So thank you so much, Mr. Toledo, for just investing into Miss Renee. And I applaud you, and I thank you so much. Gratitude. Excellent, excellent.
Notary Secrets: How to Make More Money Without Working More. During this free webinar, Tiger Toledo reveals how you can attract more clients with cutting-edge ways to market your notary business. You'll learn how to develop the right mindset, how to create passive income as a notary, and about how to start a notary agency. He will also show you how to build a profitable notary business on a shoestring budget. Plus, why it's tougher than ever before to reach prospects, and what you can do about it. The #1 skill separating great notaries from their peers. 3 reasons it's hard to learn how to become a successful notary public. And how you can use my SmartNet system to make way more money than you are today. Register today.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me for another training session here to build and increase the cash flow of your notary business. So let's get right into it without any further ado. Let's talk a little bit about the call script here. Now, when I designed the call script, I knew the call script was going to be very versatile. I knew it was going to be able to transcend on different platforms and act as a catalyst to generate income, and most importantly, disqualify customers or clients that do not fit our service model. Okay, so here's the thing. When I created the call script, right, I really created it maybe after a few conversations with some clients. And I started noticing a trend, and I started noticing commonalities of questions that they were asking me. Now, I looked at those questions deeply, and then I said, you know what? I can take some of those questions and make them a little bit more of a loaded answer. Like I'm not just answering it as a yes or no. I have to give more of a description. Now, in my sales career, we learned that the longer the spiel, the higher the deal. I always kept that in the back of my mind. The longer the spiel, the higher the deal, the more money you can ask per deal. If you have a very, very short spiel or pitch, your services will not be able to equate to the amount of money that you're asking the client to pay for. So you have to keep that in mind. I want you to, I'll give you an example. My nephew one day, his windshield got cracked, and we started calling quite a few windshield replacement services. And a lot of them, we would just tell them the make and model of the car. And, they gave us a price within, a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Then we got to a company, I believe it was called Safelight. They're the ones that have the commercial and everything. They took their time to ask, well, does it have wiring to heat up the windshield? And they probably already knew the answer to it because once we gave them the make and model, but they asked us so many questions, which took about maybe 15 minutes of questioning, right? And I said to my nephew, and I said, watch, her price is going to be much higher than everyone else's. And sure enough, when she gave us the price, she was literally like 2 times as much as her competitors. Now, does that knock her out the box? Absolutely not, because she was thorough enough for us to have a picture in our mind that when they come out and do the windshield, it's not going to be a half-assed job. It's going to be very, very, very thorough. And if I have any problems, I know I can find these people versus the other people. Like, you might take your chance with them. They might not put your windshield in the right way. You get what you paid for, kind of. So that company definitely came across as the experts in replacing windshield. And that's the way you want to come across. That is why I designed the call script the way it's designed, and it's very loaded. So one of the things I wanted to do was be able to take that same call script model and be able to put it on different platforms. So I'll give you an example. I also use email marketing, which you guys don't have to use. I'm probably not using it to its fullest potential, but I use email marketing because I was using it for my other businesses, which was called Aweber, which allows me to send out email broadcasts, schedule different emails to automatically go out to people. So it's automated. I don't have to be there. I don't have to man it. It's just automated. So on my website, and I'll show you guys here, on my website, if somebody wants to schedule a notary, you'll be able to see that I took that exact call script and put the call script on the opt-in platform, as you guys can see right here. So it's exactly the same way. I took that same call script and put it onto my Aweber opt-in platform. So when somebody fills that out and I get an email, I know exactly what they're looking for. And then I took the same call script, and I'll show you guys here. I started doing this not too long ago. I started using Calendly. Calendly allows me to schedule my appointments. It's a free service. I suggest that you guys download it and start booking your appointments. Now, the way that process goes is somebody will call me, right? I'll go through the call script. Then I'll tell them, they'll probably say something like,
okay, great. I'll just call you back if, we decide to go with you guys.
no problem. I'm also going to send you a link to allow you guys to schedule your appointment in the future if you guys decide that you want to go with the company. Once they hit that link, and I'm going to show you guys how to text like a maverick. I am going to make a specific episode, a specific training on how effective texting is in this day and age. So be on the lookout for that. So what I did was, once I text them the quick quote, right under there's a link that allows them to schedule an appointment. Once they hit that link and they pick the date that they want, the date and time that they're looking for, you're going to find, and I'm going to show it to you guys here, another call script. I infuse the calendar with the call script again. So it's just being as thorough as possible, because something might come up, right? They might realize that they can't get a certain person to be a witness, or they might realize that somebody doesn't have an ID. It just reiterates, and it just makes them more comfortable with the consistency that they're seeing with the call script. They say, wow, this guy asked me the same question. Now it's here again in front of me. They're not going to look at it as being redundant. They're going to look at it as, this company has done this job many, many times before. They're professional. I can trust them. They're the experts and authority in this field. Okay. So I want you to think of different ways that you can use the call script. It's very, very versatile. It'll help you in the long run, as well as help disqualify clients that should not be your customer. That's another training video right there. But we'll talk about that. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to drop a comment below or email me at support@usnotaryagency.com. Peace.
Due to the massive impact social media and technology are having on the notary industry, the rise of the smart notary is in full effect. Are you prepared for the inevitable changes, or will you become obsolete? Nationwide notary agency owner Tiger Toledo shows you exactly how to leverage opportunities that currently exist. Through real-life examples, personal stories, insight, and examples, Tiger shares how he took his small one-man traveling notary service to a nationwide success using the same technology available to you. Rise of the Smart Notary will teach you how to take advantage of today's opportunities. Provide strategies and tips for using social media. Breakdown of the traditional way versus the new way of doing business. How you can exploit the opportunities that exist today. Tiger will also teach you how to work smarter, not harder. Explain top mistakes notaries make with their business. Provide immediate steps you can take towards success. Grab your copy today. It will change your life.
Peace, peace, peace. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for another training session. Today we are going to talk about how to increase each transaction cost. So we're going to learn how to increase every transaction that you get. because they're little hacks that you can use to increase the profits of every transaction. So we're going to break it down in like 3 or 4 sections: the product, the service, then we're going to go into the price point and what the customer benefits from doing that, and then how to pitch the service. Okay, so let's get right into it. And if you do have the copy of the call script in front of you, that would be very helpful. So if you can get a copy of the call script in front of you, it's going to be helpful on how to pitch the customer. Now, I want you guys to keep this in mind though. The call script is just a foundational